And that positive slope equals 1. They all have the same slope. So they actually look parallel. They never touch. So we can have a definition here. This is something that we're going to need to know. So maybe star it, exclamation point it, do whatever you need to do. So parallel lines are in the same plane. Notice as we're all in the same graph. Are in the same plane, meaning the coordinate plane. They're in the same coordinate plane that have no points in common. They have no points in common. They do not intersect. They have the same slope. They have the same slope. I'm going to highlight same slope because that's really kind of the key of parallel lines, how you can tell that they have the same slope. Let's go to the next one. It says graph all three lines on the same coordinate plane in color. Remember, these are the kinds you have to know. X without a Y, remember they have an x-intercept. There's no y-intercept, which means that these are vertical lines. So x equals -2, my x-intercept would be -1, 2. And it would be a vertical line. And I'm going to write above there x equals -2. X equals +2 would go to +2 and be a vertical line again with arrowheads. And I'm going to go ahead and write x equals 2. X equals 3 is going to be a vertical line at 3. Draw your x-intercept, connect your line, and you have x equals 3. Now these ones have no x-intercept because there is no x. So they have to be horizontal lines. So let's go to the first one, y equals -5. So I have -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only way to have no x-intercept is to make it a horizontal line. And then again, right above it, y equals -5. Y equals 1. Go up to 1. And we'll have a nice horizontal line at 1. And again, right above it, that it is y equals 1. And last but not least, y equals 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is light blue. And we have another horizontal line. You should be starting to recognize horizontal and vertical lines very quickly in telling how you can tell if it is a horizontal or a vertical line. So this says, aha! There is an aha moment. Do you notice something super special? What can you notice about all horizontal lines, which remember are all y equals lines? Well, they're all parallel. They're all parallel. They all have a slope that equals 0. What about our vertical lines? These are my x equals lines. They also are all parallel. Their slope equals undefined. The sign for parallel is 2 lines. This means parallel. So instead of writing parallel, you can just use those 2 lines there. So you can look at equations and be able to tell if they're parallel as well. The way that you do that is you have to first make sure they're in slope-intercept form. So first, write in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So you can look at their slopes. So let's look at this one here. Is this in y equals mx plus b? Sure is. We know here that the slope equals 4/3. How about the second one? Sure. But here the slope for y equals 2, remember y without an x, look back here. These are all horizontal lines, so this has a slope that's 0. Here, this is already in. This has a slope that's 4/3. And another horizontal line, so we have another m equals 0. What do we see about our horizontal lines? They're parallel. So I'm going to go ahead and say that y equals 2 is parallel to y equals -3. That's my first one. And my second one is, notice 4/3 and 4/3, they're the same slope. That y equals 4/3 x plus 3 is parallel to y equals 4/3 x minus 5. So there we have our two sets of parallel lines. This one here, for number 2, we might not have the long slope-intercept form. The first one is, here the slope equals 3. The second one is, here the slope is -1/2. But this guy we've got to rearrange, so I'm going to bring it straight down here. So you have x plus 2y equals -4. Remember, to put it in slope-intercept form, you need to solve for y. So you need to subtract x from both sides. So you get 2y equals -x minus 4. Then divide both sides by 2. When you divide the right-hand side by 2, remember you divide both parts. So you get y equals, this is like a -1 in front of here, -1/2 x. -4 divided by -2 is -2. So now we know the slope is -1/2. And last but not least, this guy here, we need to distribute our 3 to get y minus 5 equals 3x minus 3. Add 5 to both sides and get y equals 3x plus 2 with a slope that equals 3. So now I'm going to look at my slopes, and I see some that are the same, 3 and 3. So I know that y equals 3x plus 2 is parallel, and you want to write the original. Y minus 5 equals 3 times the quantity x minus 1. Again, write the original equation. Then I see m equals -1/2 and m equals -1/2. So they are also parallel. So y equals -1/2 x is plus 4 is parallel to x plus 2y equals -4. Let me erase that and write it a little better. That first one was y equals -1/2 x plus 4. So then this is your answer. And then the joke at the beginning that said, what did the lines do at the gym to avoid each other? They were parallel because they never crossed paths. Very, very funny. Okay, now what I want you to do is you're going to graph these two lines on your own and then take a look and see if you notice anything. Okay, I'm going to do this in red. I know my slope equals -2/3, and my y-intercept was 3. So the y-intercept of 1, 2, 3, a slope of down 2 to the right, 1, 2, 3. Down 2 to the right, 1, 2, 3. Up 2 to the left, 1, 2, 3. Up 1, 2 to the left, 1, 2, 3. And connect them with arrowheads. And right above it, y equals -2/3 x plus 3. Then my next one has a slope of 3/2, and my y-intercept is -2. Remember, you always look at your sign to the left. So -1, 2. So you go +1, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 2. +1, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 2. Down 1, 2, 3 to the left, 1, 2. Down 1, 2, 3 to the left, 1, 2. And then you connect again with arrowheads. And we're going to write above here the equation of the line, which was y equals 3/2 x plus 2. What do you notice about the two lines? They form two right angles. Right here and right here. So that's perpendicular. What makes them perpendicular? Look at your two slopes. One's negative, one's positive. Oh, so they're opposites, meaning one negative and one positive. And 2/3, 3/2. Oh, they're flipped, so they're opposite and reciprocal. That's all. So perpendicular lines make a 90-degree angle. And this part's really important to know, that their slopes are opposite and reciprocal. So and the way you write perpendicular is like an upside down T. So I would say if I knew a slope was 2/5, the perpendicular slope would be -5/2. So on and so forth.